Hi, I'm Kirk with O'Reilly's, and you're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Hot Rod Madness, where every car has a story. If you love rat rods, street rods, American classic muscle, even the unusual, including those ground-pounding, tire-smoking street machines, we got them. Fire them up, Hot Rod Madness style, with your host, Tim the Milkman, along with the Hot Rod Madness crew. Welcome to Hot Rod Madness. Join us as we check out the largest traveling car show in the world as it rolls into Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the 24th annual Hot Rod Power Tour, a 7-day, 7-city journey bringing together over 6,000 cars and thousands of spectators. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the 2018 Hot Rod Power Tour.
Hey, you know what? It smells funky around here. What is that smell? It's probably roadkill, right? Hey, look, if you've never had the opportunity to come out to one of these Hot Rod Power Tour stops, maybe you should try it. Because the Milkman and Dollar Bill is fixing to show you exactly what goes on at these stops. We're here in Chattanooga at the college. That's one of the major stops on the tour. And, of course, Roadkill's got their setup here. Got some really cool stuff lined up here. That looks like a period correct, all original Camaro except the wheels. That's a T-top car. Power Tour 2017. You know, it's been around the block a while. You know, just looking here, I guarantee you we're going to see some really cool stuff here today. A lot of content for Hot Rod Madness, man. I can't wait to get started. The hot rods are piling in, man. You know what I mean? I love it. We'll see you around. Byron, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
All
You're
right,
doing great.
Welcome to the Power Tour, man.
Yes, it's good to be here. First time on it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. This is actually the first time Hot Rod Madness has been able to cover the Power Tour.
Oh.
Here in this stop in Chattanooga, man. Wow, what a turnout, right?
It is. It's great and a little warm, but great.
Oh, yeah, it is warm on this asphalt. You walking around, you may get a heat stroke out here.
Yeah.
However, that's not near enough to stop these hot rod guys from coming out here and showing off their rides today. Man, what a ride. I'm looking at this. You know, I'm a big fan of the Vegas because I actually had one in high school. Mine was 75. What year is yours?
76.
Okay.
76.
Now, mine was nowhere near what you got going on here.
This one's a little over the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me start with what type of suspension is underneath this thing?
Okay, I'll start with the front. It's all custom tubular suspension with a power rack and pinion.
Yeah.
Adjustable coils.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Is that something you did, or did you have that done up?
I bought various places, and I knew a guy that made the control arms.
Okay.
And from there, they were modified, and
Yeah.
the spindle's been modified for better turning radiuses.
Okay.
And the back half is a Art Morrison 3-link with watts.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice setup. I'm looking at it going, man, it's a lot wider than your usual Vega would be, and I imagine it's made for the road, right?
Yes, it is made for the road.
You can put this thing on the street and hang some curves and go. Wow, what a ride, man!
Yeah, I just was on it, the MCM Motorplex last weekend. So on the track, great, handles good. It's over a foot wider than a stock Vega.
Over a foot wider.
Yeah, foot, yes.
Yeah. Wow. You can tell Byron has a lot of fun with this thing, man. What's under the hood of this baby?
It's an LS3, 6.2, custom tuned headers with Hillborn injection.
Yeah, now look. Everybody has an idea of what a Vega weighs. And when you go putting an LS motor in it, I could just imagine the power you got there.
This weighs 3266.
Yeah.
600 horse at the flywheel.
Yeah.
Dynoed at 440 at the wheels.
Well, let's take a peek under the hood, man. Yeah, he's got some fancy little latches he's going to pop it. And if I remember correctly, this Vega hood might come up the opposite direction. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, look at this. Dollar Bill, get a peek at that, buddy. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's got a nice injector stack set up here. Nice little system up front, pulling everything. Wow. So a lot of that continues underneath that firewall, man.
Yes, it does. When I say the custom headers, that's designed to go over the bell housing for ease of removal of the transmission at a track, I can get that out with no problem. No removable exhaust, and I have no heat on my pedals. I have floor-mounted Wellwood brakes.
Okay.
So it's much nicer that way.
Oh yeah, a lot nicer. When you got to take the transmission out, there's nothing in your way, right?
in the way.
What about the cross member under there?
The cross member is even modified where I take 4 bolts off and it drops.
Sweet.
I don't have to take the plate to hold the tranny on. I just take those things and drops. I can do it within 15 minutes.
Man, that's the best way to have it, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
Quick and easy. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Makes working on it a lot funner.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at the body mods on this thing. Wow. Is this fiberglass or all metal?
This is all metal.
Yeah.
With the custom handles
Yeah.
to open the door, flow through fenders for better aerodynamics, and the design to have aerodynamic. You put pressure downforce at the rear end. Yes.
Okay. So who did all the sheet metal work?
The company up in Oregon, which is called A-Team Restoration.
Okay.
Yes.
What a fantastic job, man. You know, just looking at it, everybody's going to assume that's fiberglass. That's a kit.
Yeah,
but you're telling me that's not.
No, this is no kit. This is all hand formed. When they cut one side, they cut the other side, and it's all duplicate.
Makes it look like it's running 200 mile an hour sitting still.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, look at that.
David Coker, Rocket Racing Wheels here at the Hot Rod Power Tour. You're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Tim Strange, how are you, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm looking at your panel truck here going, man, that thing's outrageous, man. I'm loving the paint scheme on it. Royal purple, right?
Yep. Royal Purple Oil. Hanging out here in the Lingenfelder engine power booth. So it's got a
Nice.
Lingenfelder 6-liter underneath the hood.
Sweet.
And Royal Purple kind of gave me free reign to do a promo vehicle for them. So we kind of picked the colors. Instead of making it all purple, it's actually the same colors as a Royal Purple oil box.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of gray on it, some yellow and some purple. A lot of 60s themes. So we kind of channeled Larry Watson, was a famous 60s painter from back in the day. Did the panel paint on it, put 62 Corvette grill teeth in it, 2-inch pleats like a lot of 60 muscle cars had in it. It's got an all-new chassis from Fat Man Fabrications. Got Ride Tech Air Ride on it, Willwood brakes that are purple also. Hammered stance, so you hit a button and it raises up. So it's got air conditioning. And to trick the people, it's got a modern LS 6-liter Lingenfelder power in it. But I put 409 valve covers from the 60s on it and hid the coil packs underneath.
That's just what I was looking at the valve covers going, man, that's Impala inspired. You got some, the grill Corvette inspired. You got a lot of stuff going on with this thing. A lot of custom work, man. That very sweet build. I'm a big fan of the double hump dash in these vehicles. Makes for some really cool interior. And the way you set that up, that's kind of satin finish, valve covers, the intake. Oh man, that's beautiful, man.
Thanks.
Nice.
And then since it is a delivery truck for Royal Purple, we kind of went with the delivery theme in the back.
Yeah.
We put rubber flooring in the back.
Okay.
And then it's got a bed slide. So you can actually put boxes of Royal Purple and slide it out, unload it. You know, I'm not sure how much delivering we're going to do with it, but it looks cool at the shows like this. So.
Great promotional stuff, right? That is fantastic, man.
It's got some cool other like kind of 60s, kind of like almost like a gig truck. So my stereo guy's a little crazy and likes, heavy metal music and hard rock stuff. So he goes, we're going to take the kicker stereo and the sub boxes in there and the amp boxes. They look like guitar amps.
Yeah.
It's got Fender guitar amp knobs and everything in it and wrinkle finish like a portable guitar amp to go do a gig. So it's got a lot of cool 60s stuff thrown in it.
How about that, viewers? The imagination that gets poured into these vehicles, that's what Hot Rod Madness is all about, man. People like this guy who can look at something and make this out of it. Fantastic, man. Here's my next question. How can I get one of these built for the Milkman?
Bring a big fat check or a big pile of cash. And we can build you a Milkman themed rig to haul your cameras and stuff.
Would that be great or what?
It'd be awesome.
Man.
See, I could do it because my grandpa was a dairy farmer, so I could do all kinds of cool stuff in there. You got to have the stainless racks in the back. Everything's got to be stainless so it's clean and. Yep, and then
all the dollar bills equipment can be organized in the back, real nice and neat. And now I'm going, where the heck am I going to get all that money? Interesting, right?
Yep.
I got a lot of work to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Glenn, how are you, man?
Good to see you again, Tim.
Good to see you, Glenn. Mike?
Nice to meet you, Tim.
You the owner of the 57, right?
I am, sir. Yep.
Yeah, and the Garage Mahal, they had a hand in building this baby, right?
Well, we've helped him some maintenance and things like that. Mike's a big car guy, car builder himself, and he lives in our neighborhood, so when he needs some work on one of his cars, he brings it over to the Garage Mahal.
All right, for the viewers, if you've ever listened to our live cast, you'll hear us speak of the Garage Mahal here. Glenn is a good friend of ours, helped us out a lot. Mike, looks like you went to the Garage Mahal for detail work on this baby, man. Tell us a little bit about your 57, man. Everybody knows if you want a black paint job, you're looking at some fantastic body work, right?
You're looking at a lot of labor and getting the body work done. It's got to be flat. It's got to be square. It's a lot of blocking, yeah. And this paint job, believe it or not, is 21 years old.
Really, this is?
This is 21 years old. Has not been touched up or painted in 21 years.
I'm looking at myself in the reflection here in this, and I'm going, wow, does the Garage Mahal polish it up like that for you?
Well, actually, the Garage Mahal did polish it up for me like this. Yeah, Glenn did a real good job on getting the paint ready. Last time I drove the car on a power tour was 2013. I drove this car. Okay. And that was the year that I finished the car as far as building it. Then I basically moved to Tennessee, and then I haven't driven the car much. I had it sit, and I probably put 40 miles on it in 2 years.
Man, don't you just love these people? I haven't driven it very much.
No, life happens, and life took over, and I just, I
understand.
Things just changed. So this year I said, you know what, I'm going to get this thing out, and I'm going to do the power tour. It's right here in our backyard.
Yes, sir.
So I've known Glenn for a few years. We're in the same car club up there in the Telco Village area that we live, and Glenn basically, has a group of good guys, and I saw some good work come out of his shop. So I said, Glenn, I haven't driven this car in a couple of years, and I said, I sold my lift, I sold my hoist. I don't want to crawl under it in a floor jack. I said, how about you doing a nut and bolt on it and getting it ready for me for the power tour? Wow. He said, absolutely. So I took it over to him, and everything was good, but then we noticed there was a little vibration in the car, and long story short, we found that the rear end gear was not set up properly. And so his guys tore the rear end gear out, and we had it all rebuilt and set up. And man, this thing is flawless and beautiful now.
There you go. That's how you got to do it. Yeah. You get out there and drive it a little bit. You find the flaws and fix them. Exactly. And I can imagine the power plant. What you got under the hood, man?
Well, what I've got under this particular hood is a LSX 454 crate motor from General Motors.
Yeah. Can we see that?
Absolutely.
Let's check it out. Oh, yeah, there you go. LSX 454 stamped right on the valve covers. Hey, you stuck with the traditional orange.
I did. I just kept it real. It's kind of, I don't know, it's an iron block, so it's old school for a 57 Chevy. Yeah. But, I had Brian Thompson in Wixom, Michigan, balance and blueprint the motor, and he went through the whole thing. It's got 630 horse to the crank. Yeah. And I'm putting down about 570 or 75 or so at the rear wheels. Okay. And then, of course, we have the big cooling system. But I've got a Cts-V 6-speed transmission behind it, and that's all been blueprinted and balanced by Liberty Gear. So
just when somebody speaks about blueprinting and all, you can tell it's done right. The car's well balanced and everything's perfect. Pretty much.
It is, and my background, what I did for a living was I road raced professionally.
Oh yeah.
And when I started building this car in 13, I decided I wanted to lower the CGs, the center of gravity. So I dropped this motor 3 inches from stock, and that was a little bit of work. I had to notch out the cross member and change the trans mount and all that stuff. But we got it in there, and boy, this car rolls down the road and stops nice. Got air conditioning. It's a jewel, man. I love it.
Very nice. Wow. Oh yeah. Coker Tire said they could fit anything. There you go.
This is Corn, Garage Mahal. You're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Joe, how are you, man?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Fantastic.
Dude, I'm out here looking at some killer hot rods. And early this morning, I was looking for you.
I heard.
The owner of this thing, right?
I heard. Yeah, this is the MG I built, man, over the past couple of years. Me and some guys threw it together in my garage, actually.
Yeah, he's saying he threw it together, but when you're looking at what went into it, wow, that's not a throw together. That's pretty radical, man. No, that's a giant Roush motor crammed in an MGB.
It is, and I say we threw it together, and I had a lot of help from a lot of great people. Roush was there. Kevin Bird, my buddy, stopped by and helped me out. Sweet. And, a lot of guys. I do this for a living, too. I work at RM Motorsports, so we got a good shop, and we do this. And I just want to do something cool and out of the box at home. So I love MGs, the little small cars, but I love that American power. We got to have that under the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you betcha. Oh, man. So, horsepower versus weight, what are we looking at here?
Well, we dynoed the motor at the crank at Roush with a certified dyno, no playing with numbers, was 504 at the crank.
Okay.
And that was just being conservative. We don't want to hurt the motor. We want to make this thing last. We want miles out of it.
Wow.
And then we weighed it. The other day I put it on the scales and it was perfect, 50-50 weight distribution.
Yeah.
And it only came in at 23.47.
23.47.
So,
wow, how would you like to take a ride in that little rocket, huh? Man, that's cool.
Oh,
and the got some body mods going on here. The induction on the roof. What is this about?
I could walk you around a little bit. I mean, we opened up the hood, let some heat out, and let that badass motor stick through, if I'm allowed to say that, because you're going to see it coming, and you got to know something's under the hood, right?
Yep.
So then we stepped into the roof, and on my main part of my shop, we do race cars, so it's always race inspired. So I wanted to make something different, something that stands out. So this is actually functional, and it hooks to some helmet coolers. So when you're on the track or doing some autocross, you can plug into some helmet coolers.
Okay.
Stays nice and cool inside.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Fresh air while you're running the track. That's cool.
oh, love it. And then, I again, race inspired. I got all the hand bucked and riveted floors. I mean, so that's going to generate a little bit of heat. So you got to get that cool air in.
Yeah.
So, but that was awesome. I love doing that, and the look just is phenomenal.
Yes,
So
it is.
coming out back, I want to be able to see people look in the rear window, go, man, what's going on in that car, and check it out. So I built up some cantilever rear suspension and put it in behind the rear window. So even driving behind the car, you'll be able to see the suspension work and stuff. It's really cool.
Man, these over-the-top builds are fantastic, man. Wow. I'm always amazed, at what we find here doing Hot Rod Madness episodes.
Oh, it's great. It's all about building and using your imagination, what your interpretation of what a hot rod is, and this is mine right now. It'll change in a month when I start building another one, but this is it right now.
Yeah, don't you just love these people? God, guys like this. Randy, all right, man. Look at this coupe, would you? Twin turbo.
Yeah, it's a 401
Yeah.
Bennett. So it's a 351 Windsor base.
Okay.
Threw a couple twins on it. Makes about 650 horse.
Okay.
Car weighs 2,200 pounds, 370 gear, 3,500 stall. So it's kind of a rocket ship.
I'd say it was a rocket on wheels. Man, you get behind the wheel there and nail this thing, man. You're moving.
Yep.
Wow.
It's an overpowered go-kart.
Sure.
If you will.
I guess it handles like one too.
It does. I make all my cars handle if I can. So it's all custom chassis I built, and obviously custom suspension, forward link, adjustable coilovers all the way around. But then this crazy intercooler piping just to really set it off.
Yeah. Sweet, man. Even the color choice is cool.
It's fun.
Look at that.
It's not a real in-your-face color, so it's like, it's a classic color, if you will. And then the dark bronze, and those are actually bronze. That's a light bronze. It's a dark bronze. But yeah, just real classic colors, and it complements everything pretty cool, I think.
Oh man, I'm loving the way the colors flow with the turbo bags, the grill.
You bet.
Oh yeah, and what
the wheels? Look
at the wheels.
Detroit steel. Made me the wheels. 20s in the back, 18s up front.
Yes, sir.
Obviously the same color as the chassis, powder coated. But they make a cool wheel.
And this is only one example of something you can pull off at your shop, right?
Yep, I could do something like this, or I go to the other extreme like this car behind us.
Oh, okay. Well, what's up with the Impala here?
68 Chevy Caprice, full-on custom. Flush mount glass, a lot of metal work in this car.
Okay.
Custom chassis as well. Got an LSA that makes 600 horse, so it's a supercharged deal.
Wow, let's look at it.
And if you look under there, that's all metal worked up under there.
Oh, yeah.
So, you get to see the LS valve covers and then the superchargers under all that metal work.
Yeah, man.
I'm a metal guy. I like all metal work. So nothing's fiberglass that I do.
Yeah.
So it's all hand fab metal. So
that looks great, man.
You bet. Thank you. I sure appreciate it.
Yeah, that flows nice and smooth.
Yeah, it was hard to make it flow, but after a month sitting there staring at it, figuring out how to do it.
Nah, you make it look easy. Look at that.
we rock and rolled on it. So yeah, it was fun. Took me 16 months to build this whole car.
16 months.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is a customer's car?
Yep, he's outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
That's where he's out of.
Well, he's going to be pleased with the work. Look at that.
Yep.
That's fantastic, man.
And he only has, we only have, 60 miles on it. So it's super fresh.
Yeah.
We've been showing it all year. So he gets it home right after Power Tour here. So as soon as Power Tour's done, he takes it home, and it's all his.
Okay, and the name of your shop is?
Weaver Customs, and out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Wow. There you have it. A couple of fine examples from Weaver Customs. you doing, Tom? I'm Tim.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
All right, nice to meet you, Tom. Especially the owner of one of these. Wow, look at how slick this thing is. You
Thank
know,
you.
when I walked up on it, I'm just going to comment on it all by myself, and then you walked up, and I'm going, I got to get the story on this. Beautiful
I
ride.
saw you with the mic, see, and that's why I came running.
Gotcha. That's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Shaped
Thank you
the
very
door
much.
handles on it.
Yes.
The slick black paint job
Yes.
on this wagon is phenomenal.
Yes, it's Code 99 GM, three coats of single stage black.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, now did you do all this to it?
No, I did most of the grunt work. I prepared it for paint, and I did a lot of the dirty work. But my brother owns a shop in Southern Maryland, a
gotcha.
body shop, and that's where it was built
Nice.
by people who know what they're doing. And I just told him what we were going to be doing. That's about the size of my role.
Okay, Power Tour 2018.
Yep, that's
Sweet.
correct. Yep.
Wow, what a build for the Power Tour, man.
Yeah, I think if this is its maiden voyage, we haven't driven the car until now.
Oh.
It was prepared for the road, or as prepared as it is at the moment, about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So we've been fooling with it. Yeah.
I gotta say, it looks brand new.
Well, thank you.
The interior, there's not a spot on it, so I can imagine how new it would be. You know,
it's essentially new. You know,
Yeah.
we built it from the ground up.
And so, are you all original under the hood?
No, it is the original engine.
Okay.
It's a Buick 400, but
Yeah.
we boarded 30 over. As you can see, the 406 badges on it.
Gotcha, 406.
Yeah, we built it. We boarded 30 over. It has a Lunati mild street cam with a roller, hydraulic roller.
Can we look at it?
Absolutely.
Slick black engine bay with the red engine. Wow. Now, is that factory colors for the Buick stuff?
It is. That's Buick red on the engine, and of course, you know, the black is the black. It's all over the car, inside and out. As a matter of fact.
Yep. Nice and clean inside and out. Look at that.
Yes.
Love these old Buicks, man.
Yeah, man.
The Skylark, you know.
Yep. It's pure Skylark, and again, as you asked before, whether or not it was original, the engine is original, but it's now about 400 horsepower.
Yeah.
Probably left the factory at 340, 360, something like that.
Beefed it up a bit, did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yep. I say you added some goodies there for the brakes, probably.
Yeah.
and
Beefed up
nice.
the brakes. This is actually a fuel injection unit, and the MSD ignition, of course. So, you know, even though it's reliable for the street, let's say that, as reliable as it can get, it'll move.
Well, if you want to do the power tour with it, you know, it's got to be kind of reliable there.
Yes, Yes, it
Very,
does.
always a good plus.
Yeah, if that matters a
And
big deal.
the original transmission?
No, it's backed by a 4L60E, 4-speed automatic with overdrive.
Okay.
Late model transmission. Yeah, the original differential 325 gears in the Buick limited slip differential.
Yeah, that'll work out very good for the road.
It's a nice drivetrain.
Yeah.
We like the way each of the components performs together.
Okay. Man, I appreciate you showing your ride here on Hot Rod Madness.
Well,
It's always a pleasure to eyeball one of these babies, huh?
I love to brag about it. Thank you.
68 Skylark wagon. Recognize who I am, huh?
Yeah, the Milkman.
I'm the Milkman. I'm the
got
Milkman.
that pretty white truck.
Oh, well. Kenny, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again, man. This week, you're at the Power Tour, and I see you and your guys. You got 3 here. What you got going on here, man?
This is a '65 Dodge D100 that a friend of mine got from his granddaddy in 1971. Drove it to high school, did the whole deal, restored it this time, put a 383 in it, put the little Fat Man front end under it, and really made this thing a cool ride. And it's been all over the South.
It's sitting just right. I was over there looking at it with the hood shut and all. I'm going, man, that thing looks fantastic. You know, big square old truck body, man. You do something like that to it, wow, what a head turner. What'd I say, Ted Herner?
It's a Ted Herner.
Hey, what else you got over here? I'm looking at
Rodney Jones brought his Super street, runs 540s at Brainerd Optimus Drag Strip. Super fast car. Stood it on the back bumper twice 2 weeks ago.
Really?
So we had to bring it in. And I brought my 68 Hemi Roadrunner that my dad bought new when my brother and I were 3 and 4 years old, and remember going and getting it.
Come on over here and let's look at it a little closer. So your parents had this?
My parents, this is what we drove to school. I drove to the prom. I got my driver's license. My mom got her driver's license in this. My brother, my dad. It's been in the family since 1968, but we got caught drag racing in 1982.
Yeah.
So my dad sold it.
Oh.
And we bought it back 20 years later with only 800 miles put on it and put a Hemi in it.
You can't let it go, can you?
No.
You gotta go buy it back.
Gotta go back.
I mean, look at that. Man, that is awesome. Dude,
My
that
dad
thing's
liked
beautiful.
Chrome. He likes chrome. That's why we called him Squirrel.
Sweet. Man, I love the color scheme. The black vinyl top still on it. Yeah, it's all original type, right?
Oh, yeah. We made a sleeper out of it, put 15-inch wheels on it with the little dog dish hubcaps, and it's just been a cool ride. We've had it since 2000, and we just really enjoy it.
Nice ride, man. That thing's fantastic. Look at this dollar bill. The engine on this baby takes up the whole bay. I mean, that's a motor there, buddy. Wide block.
The 8th day, God created the Hemi.
Yeah, buddy. Fantastic. Kenny, thanks for showing your rides.
Man, good to see you.
Man.
Hi, I'm Glenn C. from the Garage Mahal, and you're watching Hot Rod Madness.
Murray, how are you, man?
Tim, I'm just awesome.
Dude, what an awesome show, right?
Oh, today is great. Can you believe the cars that are out here?
Wow, I was, like I said earlier, I was told over 3,000 showed up, and it looks like it.
I think a couple more on top of that.
Yeah, I think so. This is your ride you brought to the show today. What is this?
This is a 2018 Cadillac Cts-V.
Wow.
And the folks from Cadillac were kind enough to loan me this for the week. I have to return it in one piece. But I was able to put a graphics package on it that I designed.
Yeah.
Under the hood is 640 horsepower with the LT4 supercharged engine, 630 pound-feet of torque.
Man.
It is a beast with pedigree and manners. It's just incredible to drive. It's a dream.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be fantastic getting that thing and go for a ride, right?
Well, on Friday, we were over at the National Corvette Museum on their road course, and they were doing drive and follows. And this thing, you know, obviously I'm not a pro driver. I've done quite a bit of driving in my time, lots of training. Never been on that course before, but it's such a fun track. They've got the sinkhole and the front straightaway, and they had a instructor out there leading us around, showing us the proper line. And you know, there are a time or two you get a little wide.
Yeah.
It happens, and you know, in any other car you might be plowing a little bit. This car said, "Hey, I know you're a little wide on that turn, but I got your back." I mean, it never did you feel like, oh no, bad things are going to happen.
I could imagine the technology that went into the handling, the suspension, and all that stuff. It's amazing what they do.
It's got a second generation magnetic ride control, which just is incredible. And want to take a look under the hood?
Sure, let's see it.
Let me show you.
Yeah, let's see it. He said magnetic ride control.
Yeah, so right there is the pride of General Motors. You find it in the Corvette, you find it in this top-of-the-line Cadillac. That's the supercharged LT4 engine, and it's just a beautiful machine. It's got power on demand like unlike anything I've ever driven.
Oh, boy. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, there ain't no telling what this lists for, so any of you viewers, y'all want to help me out, I could use one of those.
Yeah,
just saying.
mean, and you want this one. It's got the carbon package on. This is a carbon fiber hood up here, carbon splitter, carbon rear wing, and then I went and did the blackout treatment to the grill. I went and gave it some mascara up here on the headlights, outlined those in black, my little red accent stripe, and then I took the V logo and designed a graphic for the sides of it, and blazoned the sides with it, blacked out the rear tail panel, and red mirror caps, and just put my little touch on it so that anybody who knows PAF Designs, Murray PAF, they look at this, they say, yeah, Murray had a hand in that car.
Cool. So you've designed quite a few vehicles, haven't you?
I've designed close to 400 vehicles. You know, they've been, I've done a dozen for Hot Rod Magazine. I've done 40 to 50 vehicles that have appeared at the SEMA show.
Wow.
I do a big display every year at Detroit Autorama. That's a charity fundraiser. I take over 6,000 square feet of their show floor space.
Oh, boy.
And then for the past I don't know, 10 years I've been here on Power Tour, and this year alone I've got 6 vehicles that I played a design role in.
How can we follow you some of these events and cover some of the stuff that you've done?
I'm on Facebook, PAF Designs.
Okay.
Instagram, hashtag PAF Designs, and PAF is spelled P-F-A-F-F. Yeah, so look for me there. I'd love to have you follow me. We up to a lot of great adventures throughout the year, and I post them all.
Murray, this is another design of yours?
This is Terry Cook's 1955 Bel Air. We affectionately call it Kryptonite. It's done in synergy green with that beautiful gray metallic.
Wow.
And this is a car that I designed for Terry. He built it in his own garage in Missouri. And he came to me with this. He says, I know I like gunmetal gray. I really like the Kryptonite green. What would you do with those 2 criteria on a Pro Touring style 55? So I designed the side vents, the hood vents. We designed in the piano black accents, all the blacked out window trim. Wow. It's got the Dodge Viper side mirrors on it, which fit nicely to the curves of the body. And we put the notch in the front bumper up here with the hella driving lights. And if you look up on the hood, rather than the flow tie like the new Camaros has, this has the flow badge. So that feeds air into the engine compartment, right into that air filter, and that 434 all aluminum small block.
Cut the badge out and made it an air intake. Smart design, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Terry's a great guy. He does a lot of crafty things. Cool. It features the shot wheels on it, and then has the treadwear graphics on the wheels with the name of the car, Kryptonite.
Sweet build, man. Look at that. Wow. The black accents, the Kryptonite green, perfectly, man. What a ride. And that's not all you'll see from this guy. Check him out online. Roy, how are you, man?
Doing great.
All right. You must be doing great because your rig is fantastic looking, man. Wow, 50s ramp truck. What do you got on the back of it, man?
That's a 38 American Bantam. I've had the body for 42 plus years now.
Really?
Yeah, and came across an old race motor, 4-cylinder race motor, and put it together about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow, you've had it a long time, man.
Yes.
Where'd you find it at initially?
It was down in Florida, and I was taking a guy to go look at an Anglia, and this guy kept telling me, I got this Bantam, I want to sell it, I need to get rid of it. No. I said no, and ended up with it. And it's just out above my warehouse for 40-some years.
Gotcha. And the photograph here on the rear wheel, that is what it looked like originally.
Yes.
Okay.
It had to be a smart car for its day.
Yeah, exactly. That's small enough, right? Wow.
Yes.
What a hot rod you made out of this thing. Now, was it like that when you got it?
No, it was just the body, and I bought a 27T street rod chassis that somebody was updating about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Had a narrow Corvette rear in it, so I cut it up and made it to fit the body.
Yeah.
It's got a suicide front end on it now.
Okay.
And like I said, the motor is a 4-cylinder Iron Duke that was making 400 horsepower on gas back in the day.
Oh, cool. Yeah, when you say Iron Duke, what did it come out of?
It came out of a Chevy 2 Nova.
Yeah, a little Nova motor. How about that? And I could imagine it totes this thing quite well.
Yeah, it's got a 488 gear with a 5-speed.
Yeah, okay.
Now with the motor, it has a Chevrolet V8 head on it.
Oh, okay.
With a pair of 350 Hollies on it.
That's a V8 head on that.
Yes.
Okay.
The old race guy figured out that the bore spacing was the same on a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and a V8.
Yeah.
And he bolted that head on it and made it work.
Wow. Okay, never heard of such. You know, we learn something new every time out on Hot Rod Madness. That's fantastic, man. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yes. Very rare. Very rare.
Yeah, very rare. And your rig here, what is this? That's 50s?
1951 Chevy cab over car hauler.
Okay.
And hand built the bed to make it fit the body.
Yeah.
It's on a 73 one-ton chassis, and it's got a small block Chevy stroker motor pulling it.
Let's walk up front. I want to see the nose of this thing. You know, you don't never get tired of looking at the grills, the 50 nostalgia look on these things, man. The CEO cabs are just fantastic looking. They're odd, you know? There's something odd about them that just captures everybody's attention. How long have you had this one?
It's been on the road 21 years this month now.
21 years.
And we hand built it, me and my buddies.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed the heck out of it. I saw a cab over the first time, and I go, I got to have one of those.
Yeah, got to have one, right?
Yep, and that's when we built one.
That's fantastic, man. Far out. Wow. All right, that concludes another episode of Hot Rod Madness. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the power tour like I did. Now it's time for me to go home, right? Yeah, I'm sure Dollar Bill's ready to go too. Hey, look, they're still coming in.
Thanks for watching, and check back soon for more Hot Rod Madness.